listening to the Ecosystem Approach show. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Transformation Talk Radio.
We discovered that human potential is severely limited when you program humans like a machine, which is standard practice today for self-improvement.
The Ecosystem Approach teaches you how to uncover your infinite potential by using natural methods that are truly revolutionary. Join us now for the Ecosystem Approach show. Today's show is about sex, love, and evolution, which we believe could be the key to real happiness. But in the 70s, everyone believed that it was sex, love, and rock and roll.
Yeah. I pointed at her, so.
What is the key to real happiness, Jason? Wait a minute. Listen to the show, everyone, and find out. We are married intuitives with over 20 years experience who created the Ecosystem Approach for you. This is much different because we see human beings as ecosystems that need to be restored instead of programmed. We show you how to take an energy approach for internal discovery that is rational, practical, and useful for everyday life. So I'm going to say it again. Jason, you're saying that sex, love, and evolution is the key to happiness, but we've heard that it's sex, love, and rock and roll.
Well, that's what you've been trying to tell me since
true.
We've been married.
That's true.
But no, we know that sex, love, and rock and roll didn't make the cut.
That's true. It
In
really
fact,
didn't.
I think it was Mick Jagger who was saying that, I always screw this quote up, but it started out with sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
That's right.
And after a while, you had to do rock and roll so you could do sex and drugs, and then after a while, you had to do sex and drugs to do rock and roll.
Correct.
Correct. So it was basically describing a debauched lifestyle that that I don't think anybody today would really prescribe as a key to happiness.
But there's people who in today's world, I've had people, I said a couple of times, one time I was in a grocery store and I said, oh yeah, that's definitely, I remember that from the 60s. And I actually was talking to myself, and this person stopped me and said, oh, you were in the 60s. Where were you in the 60s? And I said, right near San Francisco. And oh my gosh, can you tell me all about it? We don't have enough time, that kind of thing. But the point that I'm getting at here is that it's what we thought in the 60s is not the reality or the truth of today.
Well, and what you were telling me earlier, I thought that was kind of interesting.
Okay.
That there were a lot of people back then,
yes,
that were trying to make that a lifestyle or a philosophy of life.
Yes, they were.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
That's correct.
And during that time, I was going to college. I was trying to inhale, and I never really figured out how to do that. So it's
okay.
but
I love it.
We know that's not it. So today's show is going to be more about. We were reading a book called The Good Life, and this is about a.
And by the way, something Jason and I do together is we will read certain books together, and most people go, "Why?" Well, because we can then talk about it.
It's fun. I mean, it's part of our connection and part of the work we do. So we come to you now and have something to talk about.
Exactly.
Not that we would ever. I mean, we could go for hours, guys. So
And I would say days and weeks. Yes, we can.
I mean, they have to cut us off anyway. So we try and calm it down. But so this book's called The Good Life, and it's about a Harvard study of adult development starting in 1938. And it started with, it's been going on for 85 years. It's still going on.
That's incredible.
It's incredible. And it started with 724 participants and extended to 1,300 descendants of the original 724.
Okay.
And they say, here's the spoiler for the book, the key to good life is relationships. But is that really the root of all happiness? And that's what we're going to talk about today. And so fasten your seatbelts.
Hang on.
Get your pootie on, and here we go. So they quoted a 2007 survey of millennials where 67% their number one goal was to become rich, and 50% said they wanted to be famous.
Okay.
So if you
add those two together,
you know that at least 17% of them wanted to become rich and famous. Okay. So and then they surveyed them 10 years later after they had more time to mature as adults.
Okay.
But their top goals were making money, having a successful career, and being debt free.
Correct.
So it was economic. Now,
in other words, you're saying that particular survey said that having economic
well, that's what the millennials believed at that time.
Okay.
So if you're out in the audience right now, raise your hand. I can see you. Okay. Raise your hand if you believe that money is the key to happiness.
Oh, I know so many people that believe that.
And even though we've heard money's not the key to happiness,
we know that too.
And we were just talking about this earlier for us.
Yes.
We've always focused, as long as we've been married and together.
Yes.
We've always focused on helping people feel better about themselves
and helping each other feel better about themselves,
taking care of our kids, our family.
Correct.
That's always been a priority. It's almost ingrained in us.
Yes.
I think it's part of our evolution.
And
we're going to talk some more about that later. We've wanted to be focused more on the economic,
right?
But it's always taken a backseat naturally or kind of organically,
right,
to what we're doing here.
Well, and I just want to make a statement. By all means, Jason and I aren't rich. Well, I'll say it that way. But the truth is, because we've used the ecosystem approach, Jason and I have always been able to pay our bills. We have always been able to do many of the things that we wanted to do. And we've been able to analyze, because of the ecosystem approach, what was important to us and what wasn't. And notice I said to us.
Well, and it's ironic too. And I just want to put this out there, but we're in a position now so that we're trying to develop our subscription service on our website. And oh, by the way, if this interests you, if you think this is for you, go to our website right now, and we have a free section. Sign up for that. It's totally free. You get the weekly newsletter. It's theecosystemapproach.org. So that's the commercial. But we know that money and success buys happiness. Most people would say, yeah, we know that money and success doesn't buy happiness, but for some reason, everybody still pursues it
and aspires to it, and that's what they want.
What is that?
That's called programming. Sorry, that's called programming.
I was just teasing you. We know it's called programming.
Yes,
okay,
we do.
And it doesn't come from a place inside of us that says, yeah, I know what's the best for you.
Right.
It comes from outside of us that says, oh, this is what you should want.
Yes.
This is what you should do.
Yes.
Here's the biggest most important point in this segment.
Okay.
And it's a little bit of sour grapes.
Okay.
But, we love science. Science is an organized way of accumulating knowledge.
Okay.
We love that part of it.
Sure.
But science today has not acknowledged the existence of your essence, your soul.
Yeah.
It doesn't acknowledge the existence of subtle energies.
Correct.
Although there's a article in the National Institute of Health that says there's a biofield around a human body that's been proven that exists.
Right. Oh, that's fairly new.
That's fairly new, but they don't know what to do with it. Medical science.
Have them call me.
Medical science has no idea how to incorporate that into the way they see health and healing.
Correct.
And
but I'm going to jump in and say, Reader's Digest years ago, basically there was always a part in the magazine magazine every month that said laughter is the best medicine. And there is some truth to that.
Laughter is an energy.
Yes.
You can fake laughter, but that's not the best medicine. It's when you're laughing and you're lighthearted, which is an energy.
Yes.
That's when it's healing and helpful.
Yes.
So, but here's the thing, okay? If you take that study that goes for 85 years and say, okay, oh my gosh, this is the key to happiness. I just have to follow this and I'll be happy.
Wait a minute, formulas don't work, and you know it.
Exactly.
Regarding humans.
Well, you stepped on my point.
Oh,
my point is that you can't follow. The implication of the study is that if you just uncover for people what's in their best interest, they'll just do it. They won't.
Well, wait a minute.
Because they're programmed.
Exactly. And that programming stops you from the clarity that you need to understand you.
Once you have a program as a machine, you don't change that program unless there's something that helps you do that. What we do with the ecosystem approach is we help uncover to take away that programming.
Okay.
And what we're left with is your essence.
Yes.
Your essence already knows who you are, how to be happy, what you should do to be happy, and it will direct you in that direction.
Well, and I'm going to jump in and say, when we first started creating the ecosystem approach, one of the things that I found was that when you start removing that negative energy from your essence that's covering you up, what you find,
that authentic part of you,
you find that authentic part of you, and that authentic part of you tells you the truth.
Yes.
Programming does not tell you the truth.
One of the things about using the ecosystem approach is that you start to learn how you lie to yourself.
Exactly.
And you're lying to the authentic part of you, because that authentic part of you already knows, hey, don't go there.
Yes.
Don't marry that woman. Don't take that career. Right. Don't do that stupid thing, but we do it anyways because we're not listening.
Exactly. So, Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
We are programmed to believe that money and success creates happiness. Intellectually, we know it's not true.
Correct.
Economic success and good relationships often are at odds. Science can help you, can't help you resolve that conflict.
Yeah,
it really can't. No. Your essence already knows how you can be happy. You need to relearn how to follow its direction.
Correct.
Which is what we do with the ecosystem approach, by the way.
Exactly.
And the ecosystem approach teaches you to benefit from the wisdom already contained in your essence, and it knows how to direct you to happiness and fulfillment. And we're about to do the break, and go to our website and sign up right now.
Yes.
theecosystemapproach.org. So
in the next segment, we're going to talk about sex, love, and evolution, and how those are the basic ingredients to happiness and fulfillment, and how to find the answers within yourself. Boy, there's a good one for your personal happiness. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about sex, love, and evolution, and how those are the basic ingredients to happiness and fulfillment, and how to find the answers within yourself for your personal happiness. Jason, why is sex, love, and evolution the basic ingredients to happiness and fulfillment? It's a mouthful, by the way.
It's really simple. It's because those things are energies. And when you take an energy approach to happiness and fulfillment, which are also energies, you can get there.
Okay.
Now, let's say you read the book that we just talked about and say, okay, the key to happiness is having good relationships. So I'm going to start with my spouse, and I'm going to be nice to my spouse for the next week.
Okay.
That doesn't change the energy.
No, it does not.
And we've had so many people. The reason we have people come to us over the years is because it was primarily word of mouth, but people know that when you start removing the negative energy, that's when things start to change.
Well, but it also has to start with yourself.
It does. But it's energy.
Yes.
It's energy first.
Yes.
You can't act like I'm going to appreciate my spouse. You have to change the energy. And a lot of times that requires a little bit more than just acting differently. For example, let's say your spouse had an affair.
Okay.
And you're hurt, you feel betrayed, you feel that broke the programming rules. You and you put the blame on your spouse. Maybe there was something in you that created the need that your spouse had to go have an affair. It doesn't matter. Those are energies.
Yes, they are.
And you have to kind of get rid of those first. So if you
you don't have to you do have to get rid of those first.
When you start doing that, magic happens. It almost seems like magic. Yes, energy isn't really magic, but it feels like magic because it's so uncommon. Well, we're so stupid because we try and do things to change the energy, but they don't really change the energy. If you just work directly with the energy, it's so much more effective.
Yes.
So, it just, it's the energy that makes the difference. And when you look at science has this presumption that if you just follow this protocol, this recipe, this formula, this technique, then you'll get the energy that you want. And it's not true. I'm sorry to say it's not true.
And I'm going to also say that even in the natural world, people have done things like affirmations and that sort of thing. And affirmations are great, except they don't change the energy.
They don't.
Yes.
And that's why we do what we do. We're going to do some what we call removing negative energy in the last segment, the fourth segment.
Right.
Stay tuned. But if this appeals to you, go to our website right now. I've just been saying that a lot.
Boy, you are. Yes.
But
go for it.
theecosystemapproach.org and stay connected, because we're gonna open up a huge new world for you that is so different than what you're hearing now, because what you hear now, all the self-help now is some sort of programming. Even energy people are using programming.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes, exactly. And you and I both know it doesn't work.
Right.
Yes. Yes. Well, wait a minute, Jason. Shouldn't it be evolution, love, and sex?
Yes. Okay. But the reason I said sex, love, and evolution is because it sounded better.
I see.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and now it's sex, love, and evolution. So that just sounded better. But the truth is, if you're going to be a nerd about it, like I am, evolution comes first, and then love and sex follow, because evolution is taking away the negative energy attached to your essence, your soul.
Yes.
And when that happens, then you start to evolve. When you start to evolve, then true love, real love is possible.
Authentic love.
Because we've been so programmed. If we've grown up with parents who saw love as possessiveness, which is very, 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 very common.
Correct.
Chances are that's how you believe love should be.
Yeah.
And so if you're looking for love, you're looking for someone to possess, or someone to possess you. And by the way, that's why we have so many. That's why the police have such a hard problem with domestics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't mean it. Oh, she didn't mean to throw that boiling pan of hot water in my face.
Exactly.
Things like that.
Exactly. And people get angry at their spouse because when you possess them and they don't do what you want them to, they're betraying you.
Yeah.
Because they're yours. And your stuff's supposed to act the way you want them to.
Yes.
It just makes so much dysfunctional sense. You can't program yourself to a better relationship. And evolution is always the first. But removing negative energy sounds strange to people, because we're programmed to focus on actions, techniques, recipes.
Correct.
Formulas, not do energy work.
Yes.
And frankly, it's been, people have literally crossed the street when they've seen us, when they know what we do.
Oh yeah.
And we don't advertise it. When we go out in the world and we're just Jason and Patricia, and how you doing, and people like us. And most people continue to like us even after they find out what they do, although they don't really understand it. Like, what?
Yeah,
you're an intuitive. You work with energy.
Right.
What's energy?
Right.
But some people are fascinated by it. Yeah, obviously, if you're listening right now, you probably are.
You are.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot of strange responses, because science, programming, logical people discredit energy because they'd rather program themselves. There are a lot of people that have been so programmed they can't see using the world any other way.
Well, and I just want to put this piece in there. When you start using the ecosystem approach, one of the most amazing things that happens is you start removing negative energy and you start to see yourself from a different perspective. And you actually, I know I did, I went, oh, I like that about me.
Yeah.
But I've had others say, oh, you know, that part of you is,
you'll never be good at math, for example.
Yeah. Oh, there was, and the most incredible thing of all is that I can actually do some math in my head now, but I was told I was too stupid earlier on in my life, that that wasn't something that I could do. So in other words, today I don't shy away from it. If I don't understand what it's all about, I'll ask, and not have no shame about saying, I don't understand this.
There's so many things that happen when you start removing negative energy.
It's amazing.
But we struggle to list the benefits, because that's what you do in a programmed world.
Right.
Because for you listening right now, it may be an amazing benefit.
Right.
But for someone else,
yeah,
like, what's the big deal? I can do that all day.
Okay. Yeah.
Saying no is a good example.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that easily say no, and a lot of people that hate to say no.
Exactly.
You know, so
exactly. So what else do we want to talk about in this segment?
Jason? Love.
We want to talk about love. Okay.
Does love conquer all? Shouldn't love be at the forefront?
Well, if we weren't programmed, I would say very likely, but programmed love says you have to love something or someone my way.
Yes, or these are the ways, this is what love looks like. So how many people, we've had so many people that have come to us that are going through the motions of love, or a relationship. You know, I do this, he does that,
that kind of thing.
And we don't argue, you know, we do these things, but it's dead.
Or we do argue, it's not dead, but I'm not liking that partner like I thought I was going to.
That comes from programming. That comes from usually in our childhood.
Yes, very much.
And a lot of times the problems with relationship is that we project, using psychobabble here, but we take that old programming and apply it to the other person.
Correct.
And it doesn't necessarily fit.
Well, and exactly. But I'm going to ask one more question here, and that, you know, should sex really be in this group that we're talking about here?
There's something about, so let's start with evolution, love, and sex.
Okay.
When you start removing the negative energy, it provides you, your essence has the ability to love.
Yes.
A machine doesn't know how to love.
No.
All a machine can do is act like it's in love.
Yes.
You know, and we have plenty of movies to show us how to do that. Right,
which is not authentic, but go ahead.
So when you start removing the negative energy of your essence and you start to be able to love, then you also have this connection to sex and sexuality that is amazing.
Yes.
And it's hard for me to talk about without without embarrassing Patricia. And it's a feeling. Whenever we work together, we do that a lot. We you know, our best time is in the morning. We have, she has coffee, I have sort of an herbal tea, and we're talking about energy. And there's an energy that start to flow between us. And even though we're not, quote unquote, having sex in that moment, it feels vaguely sexual and very satisfying.
Very much.
When you're working at the level, at the vibration, at the level of your essence, the authentic part of you.
Yes.
It's sexy.
It is.
And it allows, you know, when you have a satisfying sex life, it can be very creative and stimulating. And help you evolve in ways that are just amazing. So
exactly. So we're going to run out of time. So Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
We are programmed to focus on actions, not energy work, because it's been discredited and invisible.
Correct.
Love doesn't conquer all. It needs a healthy essence to be in its proper place.
Yes.
Often it's abused and used by evil energy to make people do weird things, bad things. Sex is so powerful that without the balance of evolution and love, it can easily turn to evil, hurt, and pain.
Correct.
You know, if I can't have you, nobody can.
Correct.
You know, and then
one of those. Yeah.
So, and the ecosystem approach is designed to help you with sex, love, and evolution to bring happiness and fulfillment and all the joys of life.
Love that. In the next segment, we're going to talk about how most people try and implement the ecosystem approach. They sabotage themselves because of negative dark energy keeps them from progress. They really need to have that we all need to really have in the world today. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about how most people who try and implement the ecosystem approach sabotage themselves because negative dark energy keeps them from progress. They really need to have in this world today. Jason, we've had so many people over the years come to us and we've helped them with the problem, but after they're better, they lose interest in going farther. Why is that?
We've been so programmed to be programmed.
Yes.
And frankly, programming is easier because when you program someone, you don't need to look at why you got to where you are. You don't need to have any sort of self-reflection.
Okay.
You know, if you've ever talked to a guy and ask him, how do you feel?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see the deer in the headlights. And
or he goes,
they have no idea what they, you know, what are you talking about? What do you mean? How do I feel?
Yeah.
Even programmed people, you know, you ask them how they feel. They don't know. They don't know.
True.
You know, program solutions are easy because they're superficial
Mm-hmm.
and they only work for a while. And then what happens underneath your foundation of being a human, it starts to erode and disintegrate.
Correct.
So,
and bubbles to the surface sometimes.
You know, negative energy makes us look at programming makes us look at one problem at a time and take action.
Okay.
And it's quicker and more streamlined than using energy.
Well, unfortunately, that isn't how life really is, though.
It's not how life really is. And we get to where we are now, where we have mental health crises, you know, teenagers committing suicide in mass. It's almost an epidemic.
Yes.
You know, and so we look for more programming. That is literally crazy.
Yes.
We keep going back to the same process, trying to get to a better place.
Well, and you know what? I also see that money, the rules, the programming of money basically does the same thing.
Well, you know, that's a good example of how quick fixes, we gravitate to quick fixes.
Yes.
So if someone has a money problem, they want to cut up their credit cards.
Correct.
Create a budget,
correct,
you know, install financial software, that sort of things. And all those things might be of help in a specific situation.
Sure.
But we've seen people who have money problems. They have no idea the root of their problem because we can see it, but they can't.
Right.
We can see energy. They can't.
Right.
And as a result, you know, a lot of times people use spending as sort of a drug to make themselves feel better.
I see it all the time. And I happen to be close to a few people that that's the first thing that they do is when something's going wrong, if they're having a relationship problem or a money problem or or even closed in because of COVID problem. That was one where I saw it really start to rise. People would just go shopping or get online and start, you know, ordering things they didn't even need. And then they create more problems for themselves because then they start to abuse themselves and the people around them because of their actions that they took.
I have another good example of people using programming versus energy is with weight loss.
Yes.
You know, people get to the point where, oh my gosh, I need to feel better about myself.
Right.
And the idea of feeling better about yourself or your self-image is an energy.
Yes.
And it doesn't happen from weight loss. It happens from removing the negative energy that's making you feel bad about yourself.
And you know what? I have a perfect example. This was years ago. I was working with a client, and this client came to me and said, I need to lose 20 pounds by this happened to be like a Sunday. By next weekend, I need to lose 20 pounds. And you have this ability, you do this magic by removing negative energy. So do your magic. And it was do your magic and make me feel better. And the reason I'm bringing it up from that perspective is we have to do things for ourselves. We can't have expectations that others are going to do it for us.
You know, the reason we've created the ecosystem approach is not to be an intuitive on your behalf, but to teach you how to do it for yourself.
Correct.
Because unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to see it, you have to do it for yourself. You can't let someone else. The energy is not something that you can validate with the kind of scientific precision that we're used to.
Correct.
You know, when you can measure something, you can say, well, this, you know, you're $50,000 in debt, or that's a specific, you know, or you're 20 pounds or you're 100 pounds overweight.
Exactly.
That's a very specific.
Correct.
But energies are never that specific. And so you don't want to, I don't want you coming to us saying, you tell me how I feel,
right,
and then you take care of my energy, when the truth is this goes to the root of who you are, and your essence has to be healthy.
Correct.
So you know for yourself, you don't need anybody, me or anybody else, telling you what to do. And oh, by the way, you know, as you start to learn this, you don't need to go to the experts or all these other programs or processes.
Correct.
I had a client recently who used a very popular weight loss program, and you see it on TV all the time.
Okay.
They used it. They were successful. But I was telling her that there's the key problem for her is the fact that she's emotional, and she processes everything as an emotion.
Correct.
So when she's doing that, she's creating a need for food that way. So she was able to control herself for a period of time. She doesn't want to go back to that program. She's starting to gain weight. This was like a year and a half later.
Okay.
And she could do it again, but she knows it's superficial.
Right.
That it's really the energy that she has to get rid of. It takes longer. It's harder to do. I'm sorry to say, you know. Same thing with money or anything else. Relationship.
Exactly.
If you've done all these things in a relationship, and there's all these parts that are dysfunctional, you can't just say, oh, I'm going to be nice to my spouse now from now on, and everything's going to be okay.
Yes.
If you think that I've got swampland in Florida, I don't think you can use that metaphor anymore.
No,
but,
I don't.
You know, but anyway, so it's very idealistic, and it doesn't work.
Well, and one of the things that the ecosystem approach helps you see because you start removing negative energy, you start to see the hate that you have of yourself. And this hate that you have of yourself actually holds on to emotions that are connected to the food. I'm talking about weight loss here for a moment, that are connected to the food. And it's the emotions that you're actually wearing. And that, of course, when you start removing that hate, then you start to see those emotions.
Yes.
And the most amazing thing of all is then you start losing.
You're able to lose weight.
You are able to lose weight.
You still may have to diet or do more exercise.
You might, but it's not quite as, I'm going to use the word, intense or demanding.
Your authentic self wants to be a normal weight.
Yes, because your authentic self helped you choose this body.
It wants you to be healthy. It
really does. It really does.
So here's the last part, okay? You know, how can we forget our purpose and substitute worldly goals and objectives? You know, our purpose comes from your essence. So when you start to heal your essence, you're uncovering all this negative energy.
Right.
Your purpose starts to become more and more clear to who you are.
Yeah.
So let me give you an example.
Okay.
Imagine someone who wants to be a healer and becomes a doctor.
Okay.
But it's easily, because in the world we are, the programmed world we are, it's easy to get caught up in obtaining credentials, developing their professional reputation.
Yes.
And they start to lose their positive feelings about healing. They lose that connection to feeling good about helping someone become healthier or healing. Right. Musicians, same thing, who love music and then become famous and successful, and then lose their love of music because they're being programmed to do it a certain way.
We've heard that one more than once. That is for sure. So Jason, let's do the key points and then we'll talk about how to do the removing negative energy. So, Jason, what are the key points?
Negative energy has programmed us to look at one problem at a time and take action, not look at energy.
Correct.
We've forgotten our essence and how it can work for us and help us, and how energy is the way to access our essence.
Okay.
And we've forgotten our purpose and have substituted worldly objectives that leave us empty and unfulfilled.
Correct.
And the ecosystem approach teaches you to reconnect to your essence, to find happiness through sex, love, and evolution, or evolution, love, and sex.
There you go. I love that. So, Jason, real fast, let's talk about how to remove negative energy. And then we'll, in the next segment, that's exactly what we're going to help everyone do.
That sounds good. So basically, your posture doesn't matter. You can sit, stand, lay down. You can be walking. You can be doing something else. You don't have to be reverent. You don't have to be quiet.
Right.
You don't have to focus really. And so when we say and to eliminate, it's usually barriers, veils, and illusions, or specific emotions, fears, anger, worry, shame. Sure. Gather up those things in your body, blow them into the processor, and I think Colton can put up a picture of the processor. If not, we'll show it on the next segment.
Okay.
And it basically goes in the top, it gets processed, and it comes out neutral. So that negative energy goes in the top of it, it gets processed, and it comes out neutral. It's that simple.
Okay. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to help you start to remove the negative energy so you can have sex, love, and evolution in your life. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to help you get started to remove the negative energy so you can have sex, love, and evolution in your life. And basically, so you can have anything you want in your life, everything you want in your life. Give yourself a chance to have that.
In a way that's authentic, not something that someone tells you to have, or says, follow this formula. Yes. So here we go.
Okay.
I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate the barriers so I can see that science cannot help me personally create happiness for myself.
I love that. Take a breath. And Colton's putting a picture of the processor up, and make sure you throw all that negative energy in there. You don't want to do all this work or, remove negative energy and then throw it on the floor and get up and walk back into it. That's a waste of time. Take care of yourself and do it to where it's in your best interest. With that said, I'm going to shorten it up just a little bit, and it goes like this. And to eliminate the barriers so I can see science can tell you how to be happy, or how to tell people how to act happy, but not the path to get there. And that one's huge.
Yes.
Do you need to explain that one a little bit?
It's just that, it's a formula, and the path to happiness is an energy.
Yeah.
So start working with the energy. Start using the ecosystem approach.
Excellent. Take a breath and blow it away.
And to eliminate the intense feelings of worry, anxiety, and stress I have, because I want economic success, not happiness, and I'm not going to get there. It's an either or right now.
Yes. Take a breath. You don't need the either or. You can have them both. Throw it away. Negative energy that's blocking you from that. And to eliminate any feelings of fear and hurt and shame that I have, because I have sacrificed my relationships for money. Now, that one is huge.
Yes.
Nice and easy. Take a breath. Don't sacrifice that anymore. Throw away that pattern. Just sacrifice that your relationship patterns.
I'm going to add one here.
Okay.
And to eliminate the veils and illusions, so I can see that when you start evolving by uncovering your essence, you don't have to make compromises.
No.
You can have what you want that's in a way that's happy for you and fulfilling,
right,
and for those around you too.
And by the way, that was one of the most surprising things that happened for me. I had no idea that was possible.
Yes.
Take a breath, everybody, and throw away any negative energies connected to it.
Oh, and here's one more. Sorry, I got one more.
Okay.
And to eliminate the veils and illusions, so I can see most people want money to cover up the negative energy that's attached to them.
Yes.
And that never works. You can't have enough money to cover up the negative energy. The better way is just to remove the negative energy. Take a breath.
Take a breath. And blow everything, all that negative energy away. And to eliminate the barriers so I can see that the whole world is focused on actions and techniques, not energies. We know that the energy, removing negative energy, works. Take a breath.
And to eliminate the barriers so I can see that focusing on removing the energy that's blocking me makes my life better.
And
it's that simple.
Take a breath. Pull it out. And to eliminate any feelings of fear and terror that I'm going to be alone and unloved and never happy in my life. You don't have to choose that one. You can choose to be happy. Take a breath by removing negative energies.
And to eliminate the barriers so I can see that relationships come from love and evolution is the way to happiness.
Yes, take a breath. And to eliminate any resentment I have that I've been taught to program myself and know that it doesn't work. Take a breath.
And to eliminate any resistance I have to focusing on working with energy versus programming myself.
Yeah, take a breath. And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that removing negative energy attached to me creates resistance for me. Take a breath.
And to eliminate the barrier so I can see that I've forgotten how to use my essence and use it as a guide in my life.
Yes.
But that's how we were designed. It's supposed to be there. It's supposed to be working.
Yep. Take a breath. And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that creating evolution for me is the best thing I could ever do for myself. And then, of course, for everyone else around me. Take a breath and blow it out.
And to eliminate the programming and negative energy that has kept me from love and evolution all my life. Oh my gosh.
Take a breath. So I'm going to activate life force energy. And I didn't talk about it before, but I've talked about it before. But today it goes like this. Follow along. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to activate life force energy. So I can use life force energy. I'm going to pull it in through the top of my head. I'm going to let it go all the way to the tips of my toes. I'm going to stop it at the tips of my toes. I don't want to put negative energy into the earth anymore. There's too much of it. So I'm going to pick it up and remove negative energy and throw that into the processor or garbage can as well. So that I can be happy and healthy and see what the truth about myself is. And if I need to clear something, I can do that without regrets. Take a breath and blow out any negative energy. Jason.
And to activate life force so I can have hope to have love in my life by removing negative energy.
True. Pull it in. Pull in that life force energy. Most powerful energy any of us has access to. Now blow out any negative energy left over. And to activate life force so I can trust that sex, love, and evolution is possible for me. And I can actually enjoy myself. Nice and easy. Pull in that life force. Know that you can have what you want in life and now blow it out. Any negative energy connected to that.
And to activate life force so I can decide to focus on having better relationships for real happiness by removing the bad energy.
Take a breath. Pull it in. Let it heal all the places in your body right now and blow out any negative energy that wants to stop you from being healthy and happy and enjoying your life. And last one, and to activate life force so I can be healthy and happy, have laughter, love, and fun, joy, and have the ability, the clarity that I need and want, and objectivity that I need and want, so I can see and know not only who I am, but I can see and know the energies that are blocking me from what it is that I want and why I came here. Nice and easy. Pull in that life force energy. all the way to the tips of your toes. Stop it right there. Turn it around and blow out any negative energy left over. Jason, what are we going to talk about next week?
Gen Z and whether they're lazy or not. And we have a different perspective. So much has been written about Gen Zers not wanting to work. And recently we read that some may say that they're potentially the hardest working of all the different, Gen Z, we're in the boomer.
I'm a baby boomer, I'll admit.
Yeah. So what's the truth? We're going to talk about the nature of work and human capital versus economic capital. It's kind of a extension of what we talked about today, because on one hand, everyone wants economic success.
Sure.
In a way to cover up there's a lot of negative energy that's attached to them.
Or their unworthiness.
Yes.
Would be the way I would say it.
And now the Gen Zers are saying, I'm not sure I want that, because I've seen it with my parents and
I saw what it did.
It didn't create a good thing.
Yeah.
So,
that can really be something.
And most work is sort of a manipulation anyways, where you say, oh, if you do this, then you'll be promoted.
Right.
But a lot of times that doesn't happen, or you get laid off prematurely.
Yes.
You don't get what you thought you wanted.
Exactly. So what else do you have to say to us, Jason?
If today's show touched your heart, if you've never thought about this before, you say, oh my gosh, I've been programming myself all my life and I know that doesn't work. I want something better.
Okay.
Now's the time. This is what you do. It's really simple. Go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org.
Okay.
Sign up for our free section. Listen to our show every week. The reason we do these shows is because energy work is so weird, so new to people. It's so out there. We don't know how to apply energy to our life in these different situations, whether it's health, relationships, money, job, that sort of thing.
Correct.
So we're teaching you how to do that. So listen to our show every week.
Right.
You can also see our show. You can see the video of it. Go to our Facebook page, theecosystemapproach.org.
Okay.
But if you sign up for our free section, listen to our show every week, you're going to start to remove that negative energy and do the clearings. You'll get the weekly newsletter. The clearings will come every week, and you can all the things you have to say to clear those negative energies, to remove those negative energies, are written out for you.
Right there.
The processor is written out there. Is a picture of that is right there.
Yes.
And a lot of people put them on their phone, and they do it every day.
So you know what? I want to add just one little something. I had someone say this to me last in the past week. They said, Patricia, will I ever be as alive as you? Is that possible? If I do all of those clearings at the end of the shows, will I be as alive as you? And the answer is simply, if you can be alive, and you can have, and you can love yourself and do what you came here to do. By the way, we all come here with a purpose, at least one.
Here's the only caveat, okay?
Okay.
Each of us has their own unique story.
That is correct.
And that unique story holds the negative energy for us personally.
That's correct.
And that's what we have to remove. And we're going to keep teaching you how to do that.
Exactly. So you talked about our Facebook page. Is that right, Jason?
Theecosystemapproach.org.
There you go. Go sign up right now. We'll connect next week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Transformation Talk Radio, and you're listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia.
Remember, your ecosystem is the most important one in the world.
Thank you for listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. Tune in every week as we discuss practical ways to apply the ecosystem approach and develop your potential to live your life on your terms. For more information, visit our website at theecosystemapproach.org.